Hey there, welcome to the Million Dollar Marketing Show. I'm your host, Jodi Sodini. Dive deep with us into the marketing maze where we're going to tackle the big business questions head on, share expert insights, and crack the code on what it really takes to take your business to $1 million and beyond. Whether you're a battle-tested entrepreneur or just stepping into the arena, this podcast is your arsenal for strategies that hit the mark, expert advice that you can bank on, and of course, a good laugh or two. So grab your drink of choice, settle in, and let's get ready to turn your business into a powerhouse together. Hey there, it's Jodi Sodini. Welcome back to another episode of Million Dollar Marketing. Today, we're going to actually be talking about relationships in marketing, and this came up because of a recent new sale I had.
Yeah, we were just talking about you. You signed a new client. It's a friend of both of ours, which is always fun when that happens.
Yeah.
And so we were talking about how important it is for you to have relationships and manage healthy relationships, both in the short term and long term.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm curious, Jodi, like this is someone that you've known for a long time. How did you build that relationship over time to where today it kind of paid off financially?
Gosh, I'm trying to think back to like when I even met her. So I think we connected forever ago, just in like a social media group, for a long time, people hanging out in like the ClickFunnels groups and Funnel Hacking Live and, supporting everybody that's like launching this thing and launching that thing. And I bought one of her t-shirts and, showed up and met her in person and all of that stuff. And actually, I think I had like a really heartfelt conversation with her because that was kind of when my previous business was falling apart. And I just remember watching some of her journey and staying connected with her throughout that. Like, hey, I'm praying for you. Hey, like,
Sure.
I've been thinking about you, and just maintaining that relationship in a really genuine and natural way, not expecting anything. But
Sure.
she knows what I do. And so
Yeah.
when the need came up, it was very natural for her to reach out to me and say, hey, how much do you charge for Facebook ads?
Right. Yeah. So there's a couple of things that come up to me that are really important in that. And the second one, we'll lead with the second one, is people have to know what you do.
Yeah.
Right. So it would have been great. It would have also been nice for a relationship if you bought her t-shirt and were nice to her and supportive. But if you never told her or made sure people knew what you did, there wouldn't be that opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And then the first one is that you were just a good human, right? Like relationships can't be all strategy. Sometimes it's just about being
Right.
being nice.
You mean
But
like the people that friend you and then DM you and say like, this is what I do. Do you want to get on a call? And you're like, excuse me. Like, we haven't even gone on our first date yet. And you're trying to take me to home
yeah,
base. Like,
yeah, that's not your favorite marketing strategy.
not my favorite marketing
No,
strategy.
no, mine neither. And so as you've been doing your agency now for a while, and you were in business even before that, doing your other things. What are some of the strategies that you use to really make sure you're creating strong relationships?
Man, I have to think about that because on one hand, it's been like unintentional, right? Of connecting with people who are really my ideal clients and thinking I'm just having a friendship with them. And
Hmm.
whereas uh, there's also that rapport building, the trust building, the friendship that's there. And then when they need the thing that I offer, they just come to me naturally versus like, I have cultivated some relationships. I have bought into programs and been in rooms because I knew that my ideal client was there. And so intentionally finding people to have a relationship with in order to know, for them to know that I'm the expert when it comes to Facebook ads.
Yeah.
So
So in both of those things, you had some clarity, right? You were connecting with the kind of people that you wanted to connect with, not that you felt you needed to, or that you
right.
felt like it was a good strategy, right? These are people you wanted to connect with.
Yeah.
And then you also, when you were joining these masterminds or making sure you were in rooms with, you were looking for people that had your audience.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about that. How important is it to know who you want to serve?
So important. If you don't know who you want to serve, like how are you going to find them?
Yeah.
And if you can't find
Well,
them, you can't sell to
apparently
them. You can't.
you
Yeah.
just add everyone and DM everyone. So
No,
that's the yeah.
don't do
So
it.
talk through that a little bit. If you're how did you determine who you wanted to work with?
Mhm. For me, it came down to alignment with values and
Hmm.
having the ability to really stand behind their purpose and what they are trying to do in the world. So, for example, and sorry to all the people out here that this is your business, I don't align with the like super woo woo crystals, things like that. Like I am going to have a hard time backing that kind of a business in a huge launch and being like, I really believe in this, because I don't.
Yeah,
Whereas, even if it's just happens to be a Christian entrepreneur and she's selling a course to moms on how to declutter their homes, I believe in that, because heck, I need that
sure.
myself. So, like,
Right.
aligning with those people. And I think when you're very clear about who you are as a
Mm,
person and you show up authentically in even in your like personal Facebook or in whatever content that you're putting out there, like I am right now, I'm not afraid to call out who is not my ideal client, that you're
yeah.
naturally going to attract and repel the right and wrong kind of people.
I think you said something really powerful there, and that essentially that if you don't know who you are, you can't know who you're not. So if you don't know who you want to work with, you can't know who you don't want to work with.
Mhm.
Have you ever taken on a client that was just not the right fit, and how'd you deal with that?
Yes, absolutely. Since I restarted this business, I've had one client where she was a referral from a good friend, and it really felt like it was going to be a good fit. Um, but as things went on, I realized that I really didn't align with the messaging or the whole undercurrent of like what she was teaching. And every single part of it was hard. The communication felt off. Like it just wasn't landing, like, even though I'm intending to sound, professional or helpful or whatever, like the client was taking it like offensively. And I'm like, that's not what I meant. Like nothing was easy. And it just was like red flag after red flag. And finally I was like, I don't think this is a good fit. And she was like, you're right. I'm like, I'm out of here. I'm like, okay, bye.
Yeah. Like, we agreed, no reason to be
We
mad.
agree. Yeah.
Yeah. So what would you say for someone who's in marketing about, maybe is there a tip or a pointer you can give them on just how to foster good relationships?
I I think the biggest tip is to show up authentically, to really truly know who you are, what your mission is, and who you want to serve. And if you can articulate that in your messaging, whether it's, as a personal brand or as an influencer or as a business owner, if you're very clear about that, then you're going to attract the right people. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Million Dollar Marketing Show. If you enjoyed today's deep dive into the world of marketing, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you never miss an episode. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, drop us a review and spread the word to your fellow entrepreneurs. Your support means the world to us, and it really helps us reach more entrepreneurs just like you. Until next time, remember that in business, if you're not moving forward, you're falling behind. I'll catch you on the next episode.